Have you ever looked at someone that you've admired and you're like, oh my gosh, like that person is just living the dream life. If only I could live that life. I could have that success. But have you ever questioned what it actually costs for that person to achieve that level of greatness? Hi, I'm Jacqueline, and welcome. We at Joyful Living Mindset are so excited that you're here because we believe that you can be wildly successful without compromising your happiness or peace of mind. And we're here to help you navigate that journey and create generational success. So I have this saying that I've been telling myself for many years. Don't admire someone else's success without also enduring their level of stress. Because you think about it, success is never an overnight thing, right? There are a lot of challenges that we have to navigate through. There are a lot of things that we have to learn. There are new things and lots of new things that we often don't know and are trying to figure our way out. And oftentimes in the journey, in the process of figuring things out to achieve whatever level of success that we want in life, we often stumble and fall, and it's often never a slam dunk the first time around, right? Sometimes the process can be very tiring. It can be very challenging. It could be very stressful. It could be very frustrating, right? Sometimes we even are met with failures after failures until we just get better and better and better each time we do it. So it's a test of endurance, it's a test of commitment, and it's a test of our mental resilience to be able to just show up and play full out every single day and do it all over again until we can achieve the level of success that we've set out to achieve. And I think it's in the one of the Marvel movies, it's Spider-Man maybe, with great power comes great responsibility, right? And think about it, right? In your own life, you think about in the early days when you're just maybe still living with your parents, there are lots of things that don't require you to make a decision for. You may not have stepped fully into your power, right? Life seemed a lot easier and simpler back then, right? But as you step out into life and as you start to pave your path forward and forge your own path in life, you have to make your own decisions. You have to take your own risk and you have to assess things on your own, right? And then once you achieve a level of success, then comes the maintaining of it. And so there's constant requirements or constant pressure, there's constant responsibility that we have to live up to the higher and higher and higher we aspire towards, right? And so that's why it's so important for us to understand that there is a cost to greatness. Now, not saying that from a pessimistic standpoint, but it's from a realistic standpoint that is because of the journey. It is a very, it's a test of character, it's a test of strength, it's a test of endurance and commitment. And so it's inevitable for us to encounter challenges along the way. And so that's why we have to first be aware and recognize that there is a cost of greatness. Now, the good news is that we can counteract the cost of greatness by putting structures in place for our lives and our path of success. There's 5 aspects to that structure. First is faith. On this journey, because we are constantly venturing into the unknown as we're stepping into our next level of greatness and soaring to our next level of success, we are often operating in a space where nothing is familiar. Things are uncertain and unknown and unfamiliar to us. And so there's really not anything kind of a consistent or familiar that we can kind of grasp and hold on to navigate into this realm of uncertainty where all the possibilities lie. And so that's why having a strong faith, no matter what that faith is, the point here is that there's a higher faith that you can fall back on and lean on, and for you to know that they've got you and they'll catch you if you fall, right? And this is also when the time when you're venturing into this space of unknown, and things are just fuzzy and frustrating. That's also the time where you're seeking for higher guidance the most, to give you the strength and the clarity and the courage to continue putting your next foot forward, and the next one and the next one. And so having a strong faith that you can fall back on, to lean on, and especially when times are tough and uncertain, that's what gives you the motivation and the courage and the strength to keep going. Second is you have to have self-awareness. On this journey of greatness, it is imperative that we get to know ourselves at a very, very intimate level. And that also means that we have to learn to accept ourselves, all of who we are, the good, the bad, and especially the ugly. And it's only in that total self-acceptance that we become more and more aware of what are we thinking, what are we feeling, what are we wanting on a moment by moment basis. What is stopping us, right? And being aware that, hey, this is where we want to get to, but yet, like, we intellectually know that's where we want to get to, but we're not doing what we need to do to move towards there. Why is that? What is stopping us? What are we fearing? What are we thinking, and what are we afraid of? And what is it that is robbing us of our peace of mind and our strength and our courage? And so on this journey, getting to know us and paying keen attention to how we are feeling, how we are behaving, how we are thinking, what are we wanting, everything about us is going to be like little clues for us to understand of what we need to do next in order to move towards that dream or that goal or that vision that we set forth and we want to achieve. And then third, we also have to have the discipline of incorporating daily practices that grounds us and uplifts us and inspires us. And those practices may be meditation or journaling or taking a walk out in nature every morning or reading books or listening to podcasts of mentors or people who are doing the kind of work or are having the level of success that you're aspiring towards. Or it could be as simple as having good bedtime hygiene, going to bed early, right? And ending the evening with things that are not stressful or heavy on our minds so that we can go to bed easier. Or it could be being mindful of what we are feeding our body, right? How we are nourishing our body, how we are taking care of our body, right? Are we in movement or exercising on a regular basis to help our muscles and our body be strong and resilient? So these are all the practices that we have to figure out which ones work for us and develop kind of like a daily practice or a morning practice to help ground us. And that's something that is something that we practice on a religious basis, and it becomes a way of being for us so that we can show up every day grounded in gratitude and empowered to move forward and reach for the stars. Then fourth is having mentors in our life. There's this saying, something like, if you want to go faster, go it alone. But if you want to go further, go with somebody else, right? Go with others. Because It's in the synergies. It's in the guidance and the love and the support and the wisdom of others who may, one, know us better than we know ourselves, sees our blind spots, or are a few steps ahead of us, and so can let us and it can share the insights of what our journey is going to be like, what can we expect, and how can we shortcut the learning process and get to our destination faster, right? And so it's very important to surround ourselves with mentors that are going to help us, that are going to cheer us on, that are going to champion our success, that are going to guide us and helps us to see our blind spots so that we know what are the things that we need to address within us before we can actually create and obtain the outcomes that we want and be able to sustain those outcomes in life as well. And so it's really important to invest in having great mentors in our life. And then fifth is to be part of a community of like-minded individuals. And this is really important because when you are in a community with other people who are like-minded, who have the same values and similar aspirations, you build such synergy with one another, right? And like I said, it's like you can go further because you feel now you don't have to do it all alone. You don't have to figure out every single thing that's necessary for you to accomplish this one vision or goal or milestone, because now you can leverage and lean on the expertise of like-minded friends or financial friends or mentors, like I said, could be a part of that community as well, or your idols, right? That you can learn from, that you can collaborate with, people who have similar and complementary resources and expertise that you can build synergy with. People who are a little bit further along in your journey and are wanting to pay it forward and help those coming up behind them, just as you're also willing to help those coming up behind you. And so being a part of a community that comes together for a common goal of genuinely cheering each other on, championing each other's success, collaborating with one another so that we can all spread our wings and soar together. And so having that structure of 5 levels of support in place is so important on our journey of greatness, because without this structure, we will often get sucked away by the frustration, by our fears, by our doubt, by the overwhelmment. But having these structures in place allows us to ground ourselves daily on a foundation of gratitude, of trust, of confidence, of support, of motivation and inspiration. And knowing that we're not alone on this journey, that we have resources that we can tap into and lean on to help us move forward, especially on days when we are not feeling our best. And trust me, we'll have those days. Even as high achieving, high functioning individuals and sheroes and heroes like ourselves, there will be days when we feel so drained and defeated and not sure if we have the strength to continue on. And those days especially are days when we need to lean on and rely on those 5 structures to help lift us back up, to help fill us back up so that we can go back out there, get back on our feet and spread our wings and soar to their next level of success. So I hope this was helpful. If you like this video, make sure to check out my next video where I'll talk more about things that we can be aware of on our journey of greatness, things that we can do, factors that impact and derail our progress as we are progressing on our journey of success and greatness. Until next time, Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.